In 1965, a spacecraft was passing over the Sahara Desert. Two astronauts sitting in it were looking at the Earth in amazement when they saw an object in the middle of the Sahara Desert. It was hard to believe. These two astronauts were James McDivitt and Edward Witt. They saw a large structure like a human eye in the middle of the Sahara Desert. Surprisingly, there was a thin human eye in the middle. This eye was 265 kilometers long and 70 kilometers wide. Its total area is more than 18,500 kilometers. It means that it can contain 30 cities like Mumbai and 5 cities like Karachi. While the area that looks thin inside it is 40 kilometers, that is, it is possible to see such a big structure completely only from space. Also known as the Eye of the Sahara or the Richat structure, you may be thinking that this is a sign of an asteroid impact. While this is not the case, scientists have not found any sign of any asteroid impact, which is why this structure has puzzled scientists till date. How this structure was finally created in this area spread over thousands of kilometers. It is not yet known, but the map that historians have drawn of the lost city of Atlantis in the past is quite similar to it. Not just one or two, but dozens of maps of Atlantean city-state that it was a very advanced civilization. Their cities were built in different sizes, and each city was connected to another city by a bridge under which seawater used to pass. There is a lot of similarity between the map of the city and the Eye of Sahara. And as for its location, about 2,500 years ago, the historian Herodotus made a map of the world. It mentions a city called Atlantis in the middle of Africa. If the map of that time is matched with the world map of today, it matches exactly the Sahara Desert area. Not only this, but 2,000 years ago, the Roman geographer Pomponius Mena made a map of the world. It also houses a city called Atlantia. Its orientation is towards east. But if this map is rotated and moved up towards the north, it can be seen here that in the northwest area of the Sahara, they have shown Atlantia. Atlantean people lived here. Its location also pretty much matches the Eye of the Desert. The Eye of the Desert structure, if seen from the ground, is so large that one would not even know that he is standing right in the middle of the structure. Archaeologists have not yet found any evidence to prove that a human civilization lived here 12,000 years ago. But on the other hand, no structure like this structure has been seen anywhere in the world. This is why it remains a mystery to scientists. Apart from Richat's structure, Sahara Desert has many more secrets hidden inside it. As soon as the name of the African Sahara comes to our mind, it will crackle sunshine, an endless stream of sand, and endless heat come to mind. The Sahara Desert is as dry as it looks from above. It has seen as many green periods in Earth's history. The total area of this desert is spread over 9 million square kilometers. That is, as much as the entire United States of America or the entire Europe. This desert is so big that it touches a total of 11 countries, and it continues to grow. The area of the Sahara Desert is increasing by 10% with each passing year. But why is this happening? But where did so much sand come from in this desert? The most interesting view of this desert is the White Desert in Egypt, which gives a charming view during the daytime. Looking at its white sand and limestone in the middle, it seems that someone has built it in this shape. But actually, thousands of millions of years ago, this place used to be the bottom of the ocean. 25 million years ago, when dinosaurs ruled our world. At the moment where the Sahara Desert is over millions of years, the weight of the ocean deposited a layer of limestone on the ocean floor. Over time, as the oceans ended to form new continents, winds began to blow over the frozen limestone for the first time. Due to the strong winds, the limestone particles were scattered and soon turned into a white desert. This is the story of the formation of the sands of the entire Sahara, not just our desert. Where there was limestone, the white desert became. Where there was sandstone, sand of orange color was formed. Surprisingly, the Sahara Desert was not always like this. Scientists have found evidence of fossils, of plants and trees within this sand, which cannot grow in the harsh climate of the Sahara. This means that the Sahara was not always like this. The conditions here were completely different from the Sahara today. 2.6 million years ago, our world was heading towards the last ice age. Everything started to freeze. There was no difference between land and sea. There was green grass spread here. Rivers used to flow here due to rains, and there were big lakes. If they were there today, they would be called the biggest lakes in the world. There were all kinds of animals that can be found in any forest area. When the Earth moves further away from the Sun, in the last ice age, the areas of the equator, including Africa, did not freeze, but they were quite cold, also known as the African humid period. When the entire land was covered with snow, the Sahara was completely green and teeming with life. There was green grass spread here. Rivers used to flow here due to rains, and there were big lakes. If they were there today, they would be called the biggest lakes in the world. There were all kinds of animals that can be found in any forest area. Along with these creatures, a large number of ancient humans were also present here because compared to the rest of the world, the greenery here was enough to support life. The climate here was quite pleasant for agriculture and animal husbandry, as is the case in Europe today. This ice age, which lasted for about 2.5 million years, ended 11,000 years ago. The temperature of the Earth started to rise slowly from 60 degrees. The thick layer of snow slowly disappeared, and the snowflakes started melting on the ground too. For the next several thousand years, the condition of the Sahara was much better. But then, around 4000 BC, that is 6,000 years ago, nature decided to end the greenery of the Sahara. Since then, the greenery started drying up, and the sand below began to rise again due to the wind. A glimpse of green Africa millions of years ago can be seen today in the longest Nile River in the world. This 6,695 kilometers long river starts in Uganda in South Africa, passes through the middle of the Sahara, and flows into the Mediterranean Sea near Egypt. When North Africa turned into a desert, the people living here had only the water of the Nile River to survive. The Egyptians and Greeks who lived here tried to find out where the water of the Nile River actually came from. But beyond that, its innumerable ramifications are so complex that they have never been known. It was for this reason that the Greeks began to worship him. In his view, it was a secret river whose source was unknown to anyone. The Nile River passes through 11 countries during its journey, and it is only 200 meters short of the Amazon River. Now, because the African continent had a pleasant climate during each ice age, it was either very hot or had normal conditions. But such a condition never arose in which it was impossible for humans to survive. Therefore, the evidences of many ancient civilizations of humans have also been found in Africa. Or it should be said that the beginning of human beings was also from here. Then it will not be wrong. In November 1974, the oldest human skeleton was found at Hadar in Ethiopia. It is in 40% perfect condition, dating back 3.2 million years, 32 million years old. In many religions, the area of origin of man is also the area of Africa, and science also proves that the human species first arose in Africa. There is a place called Enedi Plateau in the Sahara Desert. There is a secret garden here. This place is nothing less than a paradise for the local nomads in the middle of the hot desert. It has been a stopover for caravans traveling across the Sahara Desert for thousands of years. Animals, especially camels, drink water here, and there are also cool caves for humans to rest. Some memories of this period of ancient Africa are still hidden in these caves. When the support was green, rock art can be seen at places in the caves, in which cow sketches can be seen the most. These animals are often found in areas where there is good grass for them to eat. Today, it is not possible for any animal to walk here except camels. Until 1940, African tigers were also present here, which are now extinct. In this hidden garden, some crocodiles live by the water, but the question is that crocodiles cannot travel so far, so where did they come to this island in the middle of the Sahara?
एक्सपर्ट्स का मानना है कि ये अफ्रीकन क्रोकोडाइल की नस्ल है जो खास कहीं से आई नहीं बल्कि ये हजारों सालों से यही है। आज यहाँ गिने चुने मगरमच्छ ही रहते हैं और ये भी आहिस्ता आहिस्ता खत्म हो रहे हैं। इनके पास खाने के लिए ज्यादा कुछ नहीं, ये पानी में मौजूद मेंढक और मछलियाँ खाकर गुजारा।
Ancient Egyptian king Tutankhamun's necklace. The secret of the unique stone is also hidden in the Sahara. This stone has puzzled researchers for years. It is a natural glass stone that is not found anywhere else in the world. For a time, it was believed that it was not part of our planet. It came from another world. But finally, its origin was also found in the middle of the Sahara. In this part of the Sahara in Libya, many such stones were found scattered among the sand. Experts believe that an asteroid impact 30 million years ago melted the sandstone rocks here, that time, rivers and streams were very common here. When the sandstone lava fell on the water, it cooled immediately and became glass stone. The endless sands of the Sahara seem so empty to look at. Neither can it be used for construction, nor can any productive material be made from it. But actually, it is the sand of the Sahara, which fills the breath within the Amazon rainforest 4,000 kilometers away. Millions of tons of sand are blown across the ocean to South America every year. It contains only 0.08% phosphorus. But researchers believe it's enough to maintain the phosphorus levels of the Amazon rainforest. With rainwater in the rainforest, phosphorus is lost in rivers by runoff. If this phosphorus didn't fall into the Amazon rainforest. So there will be shortage of phosphorus in the land here, due to which new plants will stop growing. Now, we finally know some surprising facts about the Sahara Desert. Sahara Desert is generally considered to be the largest desert in the world, but in fact, it is the third largest desert in the world. The first two deserts are Antarctica and the Arctic Desert. It is true that the Sahara is the largest hot desert in the world. While Antarctica and Arctics are considered cold deserts, the total area of the Sahara is 9 million square kilometers, but its area changes every season because the sand is either spread or gathered by the wind. Sand covers only 25% of the entire Sahara, while the rest consists of rocky mountains. The height of the sand dunes here goes up to 180 meters, and the highest point of the Sahara is Mount Kosi, which is 3,415 meters high. It is undoubtedly the hottest desert in the world, but it also snows in many places, and the temperature drops to -6 degrees Celsius. Hope you like this video of ours. Please let us know your suggestions and make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.